Something you want to cover both of us. All right, we're going to say the pledge to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Hope everyone had a nice 4th of July. Nice, we had the flag out and we're ready to rock and roll here. All right. Roll call.
Mark Foltz.
Here.
Mark Frazier.
Here.
Francis Griffin.
Here.
Kelly Schmidt's here. Troy Carmel.
Here,
Okay, we got the agenda.
I got two things I need to add to new business.
Okay.
The first one is the annual SEDP contribution. It's in our bills list here, but we always, when our original agreement said we vote on it every year, so.
Okay.
There's that, and then also we should probably talk about the joint meeting with the planning commission that they requested.
Yep. Yep.
What about the scheduling the public meeting for the increase in
We'll set that next month because it'll be for September.
okay.
Okay, good. Those two items. Anything else, Kelly? Okay. Okay, with that, those additions,
Motion to approve the agenda
Mark,
with the changes.
motion to approve, seconded by Butch. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, June 2nd is our regular meeting minutes. They look fine. Troy? Mark? Butch?
Motion to accept.
Motion to accept the minutes as
Second.
printed, seconded by Butch. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public comments. Okay. Seeing none, I gotta change it. Sheriff's report. Mark?
Are you ready for me?
We are ready. We
Okay.
are ready.
For the month of June, it looks like there was 31 calls in the township. It looks like 12 of them were somehow related to traffic. So there was car deer, looks like there was a wire down, which could have been related to traffic too. Hazard. And that was pretty much what we got. So 7 traffic stops.
I didn't get that in my email, so
I didn't either.
he just brought it.
Thank you. Yeah. I got charts, but not our area.
Yeah, I didn't-
Antrim and different ones. But not-
You didn't get
Okay.
the pie thing.
Right.
I'll take it.
We believe you, Mark.
Thanks.
Believe me.
Yeah.
I mean, there was 131 calls in the town.
We appreciate you making the effort to come and keep us up.
Yes, we
No
do.
problem.
Yeah.
Even though there's probably an undue influence behind you that.
I know he wasn't driving.
Well,
I know he wasn't driving.
I don't want to go on the tape right now. She can use it later.
Thanks, Mark.
You bet.
Okay, let's go to another Mark, Frazier, Cecil.
Basically, we didn't have a lot going on at the last meeting.
Okay.
We did talk about our calls are up dramatically because of Durand, our paid calls, our
Oh,
ambulance calls.
Oh, good.
And fire has been up this year compared to last year. Well, it hasn't really been grass fire, there's been a lot of structures. And we've assisted, I don't know if we went to Williamston last night or not, but but the ambulances have been very busy. We ran quite a few calls to the LSW area in June, and we've done quite a few this month already. I don't know where that's gonna end up. At some point, the state's probably gonna jump on, but
Mark,
Yes.
I'd like to introduce the new vice chairman of the board, of the
Okay.
CESA board,
Okay.
Mark Frazier.
Oh, great.
He was elected at last meeting. Of course, he takes over for Bill Coley. So.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
So why do you think, why is ambulance up? Just people doing stuff, or
well, it really has helped. Durand is a lot of calls.
is Durand up from where they were under their previous people, or don't you really?
Sort of, because we were taking some of the calls before, but we weren't getting the household fee.
The pound and the money.
Well, we could get the call fee, but not the household fee when it was under MMR. But really, frankly, I listened this weekend, and there was many times that both the rigs over there, both the one that sits in Vernon Township, the one that sits in Durand were out, and a lot of them were Durand calls, so. It was a busy weekend on the ambulance.
How many years, how long is that contract, is that for?
3 years.
3 years.
Three,
yeah.
that's what I thought, but three,
Yeah.
well, good,
But they're happy.
well, good.
They're back to the thing that other people had found, like Vernon, when we went with them and so forth, is that the complaints stopped.
Good.
You know, and that's a big thing. And they can call Guy and get answers right now, you know, and that's,
And they have people serving on our assessment board, and they come to the meetings, and they go,
yeah, in fact, their
30
fire chief
minutes?
is there
I
around
mean-
with us, so,
For the city of Durand.
yeah.
yeah.
And, yeah, it's been a very good thing.
New city managers working okay.
I think so. I
Yeah,
don't see.
I mean, they've been shuffling city managers quickly, and that can always be, you know, you go in one direction, then all of a sudden now you're going in this
Well, I
direction.
found out that Colleen actually, that was her plan.
Oh.
She wasn't here for a long term.
But nonetheless, it's still, you know,
Yeah.
everyone has their own vision.
And frankly, one of our big supporters has been Brent Boggs, so,
Which is good,
you know,
Yeah.
he's on the council there
yeah.
in addition to being the county administrator, but,
Yeah, there's a lot of interaction.
so.
Yeah, so.
Sure, which is good.
That's been, you know, it's been a good thing, and we're, I don't know, we're probably, when we can find the money, we're gonna have to look at another ambulance, because right now, we've got one that hit a deer that is still usable, but
Uh-oh.
not in great shape, and,
Front end or,
I don't know.
oh,
And it's our only spare.
Yeah.
So, you know, but we'll cross that bridge
okay, Mark.
and get there.
Okay, good. All right, DDA will meet, July 21st at 6:30, Wednesday. And, I talked to Christian, she's the lighting expert for Consumers Energy, and she emailed me I just saw it just now, an hour ago, I guess, or a couple hours ago. They're supposed to have a proposal for the lights, to give the city of Perry and Perry Township an idea if we go from the truck stop all the way to Signature Ford lighting like we did on the other, how much it's gonna cost the city and the township. And so, we should have that cost, for our meeting. They're supposed to get it to it by the 20th. So we'll see how that goes, so that by the 21st, we'll be able to present that at their meeting.
That's about half and half, isn't it?
It is,
Because
it's
the
a
city
little,
goes
it's a
to
little
Britain Road,
more
doesn't it?
for the city, but,
Yeah.
of course, unless you eliminate one or two poles, but basically, it's a little more a little more footage for them than us.
It'd be nice to have a light at Britain and Lansing Road.
So that's the one item, and zoning, Kelly, help me, remember, we had 3 inspections that weren't resolved.
I think there were 3,
That was about it. And then some trailers going in the park. And that was about it on zoning. We're trying to get a hold of the new zoning man, I don't know his name.
Code enforcement.
Code enforcement. I know we had a couple in the last year or so come.
One did a better job, we have a new one,
Yeah.
and he's been out there, but, yeah.
Yeah, I need to talk to him, and I haven't been able to get a hold of his name, so I'll have to call Mike. Okay, I don't know who he is.
I
John,
still
since
have
we're
a
talking-
problem with that department. I've been on this board 9 or 10 years, and they have never, ever had anybody from that planning department here at a meeting. And I don't understand why they cannot, once in a while, attend.
Okay.
You know, I just think that's,
Well, they cover a lot of territory, I'm sure, but
They've shuffled people in and out several times in that
yeah, but
timeframe
Pete
too.
Preston's been there the whole time I've been here.
Yeah, it didn't matter before, but this is kind of how it's always worked. I don't know why, they have all different people there, but
Yeah,
it's still
I just-
kind of,
I just don't
3.5 years ago, we
understand,
did
I
have
mean,
Pete
other,
Preston.
he has been.
he's been here. We had
but
a
not
meeting.
since I've been here.
He's probably
yeah,
never been to a township board meeting, he's been to,
He's been
you
to a
know,
meeting.
like a meeting for us to go over something.
That might be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, you know, other department heads, I mean, the road commission covers the entire county and they come at least once a year, you know, so.
It would be good if they would at least once
Probably, we just complained to them.
You know,
Tried that in planning commission.
Mark has a good, and Mark has a point. Even, you know, even if it was the code enforcement, because many times that's the person you want to talk to more than something else. That's a, I will look
The county
into that.
clerk comes, she covers the whole county.
Yep.
And Lori did before Caroline, so, I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't see that they can.
Once in a while show up.
Yeah.
Just like the road commission, usually comes once a year, maybe twice, once a year. This should.
But if I call them, they'll come, you know, just like John tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I did see you last week
Yeah.
in Langsford, you know.
Yeah.
It's your turn,
Oh, thank you.
John.
Not a lot to report on. One thing that I'm kind of sad about is that Brent Freeze is retired from the road commission. He was an excellent director. He certainly had the full support of the board. The board was pretty sad. Acting director is Chris Kennan. He seems very capable, so I think they're in good hands. He may end up the director, so we'll see.
Just provisional, right?
Yeah, provisional. Actually, the road commission, I go twice a month at 7:30 on the second and fourth Tuesdays. Up until the big rains here the last couple weeks, they were well ahead of schedule for trimming, road, chloriding, all those things. The companies that came in and did graveling were getting things done. Also chip sealing, new blacktop some places. Looks like next year will be as planned.
Okay.
I think they were discussing like up to 33 miles next year of chip seal and some new stuff depending on how that all works. Our audit was finished on time into the state of Michigan. They were pleased. All our departments were able to get their things into us on time. There was a little consternation over a few things, but we had a clean report, which was really good. We're moving along and just transferring our assets from retirement to wealth management. We've done the 457 and all the new employees that have come on since January 1st are in that program, of course. Also, we're doing a study as to buy out those people that are in the defined benefit, if they wish. Many of them are grandfathered in, but if they want to be bought out, because we've taken a look at several counties, Lansing Board of Water and Light, and they basically bought out everybody of their defined benefit program, gave a bonus to move into the defined contribution. So we'll see. You know, we're moving along with that pretty close. We also have finished up our assessment for a full-time human resource person, and we will take several activities that we have several people in the county do now and put it into that department. We'll have that report this month, so on and so forth. But the office is running pretty good. Our financial director, Tracy, has done an excellent job, and she has an assistant named Lacey. Not hard to remember their names, Tracy and Lacey.
Okay.
And Pleasant View moved in right after we did with all their programs into wealth management, and the road commission moved their 457 to wealth management, and they're looking at their defined benefit program also. So
Okay. All right.
that is all moving along. That's the legacy costs. We're addressing them, and hopefully we can get it all done and nobody gets hurt in the process.
And Brent had a little, farewell party, I guess, and invited his family, like he said, and, which was good. He'd been there 29 years, so he had a
Yes.
nice party, nice send-off for him.
Yes, it's unfortunate. Of the directors I've worked with, he was by far the best. No question.
Yes.
I mean, by far the best.
He kind of tipped me off about a week before,
Yeah.
you know, and we talked, and he did, we worked real well together. And
No, he was the best one by far.
Troy and I both have.
Hopefully,
And
when
Chris will
they,
be fine, I mean, I've dealt with
well,
Chris.
when they select, hopefully
Yeah.
they will find someone more like Brent and less like some of Brent's predecessors.
Boy, that was diplomatic, yeah. Yes. But it was true, since
And I'll
he,
second that.
Because that can make a huge difference. I mean, this is all a delicate balance.
Sure.
and there is a large sums of money that are spent. I mean, I've sat there on some mornings for an hour and a half, and they go through bids for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Gravel, chip seal,
Yeah.
I mean, all that stuff,
No, that's a very intense job.
yes.
Very intense job.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's long days. So, you know.
Any questions? I've just touched several things.
Okay, John, thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna
Okay.
leave you and move on to Woodhall.
Tell him hi.
I will.
Okay.
I will do that. Good
And,
evening, good seeing you.
Drive safe, watch out for the train. All right, library, Mark?
Really, nothing to report, that the attendance is up in the libraries and the programs are being well used, the summer reading programs.
Good, okay,
It's-
that's good,
Yep.
no problems. Troy, I-69?
I-69, so we had our first in-person meeting in June since October of 2019. So that was, that we hadn't seen everybody, well, we'd seen them online and stuff, but. So we had a lot of business just to catch up on and, you know, go over. We've had, prior to all of COVID happening, we had changed, it had been Genesee County had acted as the fiduciary for the organization and done the administrative work. And that had transferred to Lapeer right about that time, but then all of the people that were at the Lapeer Development Corporation, which is the equivalent of our SEDP, left.
Oh.
I mean, the director took a job at the county, and the secretary retired, and so we have kind of a hole in our records and stuff there, and I think they're working through it. One thing, I'll just mention this to you, Mark, I don't know if Justin's brought it up at all. I had suggested to him that maybe if there's a vacancy in that we look at, if the SEDP wanted to take on that role, because it gets paid. I mean, it's like $10,000 a year, but it's basically somebody to take the minutes and send out emails and stuff. And simply,
I think we haven't had a meeting probably since you
right,
guys.
you know, and I just mentioned it to him, you know, because I assume you have somebody you share with the chamber probably that does that.
Actually, we did, and now that person's full-time with us.
Okay.
There's been enough activity.
But what I would like, I mean, if we could make that work, that way we know, you know, it keeps it in our county, and, you know, for things like the LDFA, I don't have to worry about them trying to pluck away at our
Right.
funds for everything else.
Oh, I'm sure he'll bring it up.
So, but I'm just keep
Okay.
that under your hat and,
Okay.
you know, maybe ask him about it, because I think that would be beneficial. We have the most to gain by that, if there's an opportunity, so. Other than that,
Well, and most everybody was there?
we had a quorum,
Oh,
so
good.
half was there.
Okay.
You got an awful large board.
We have an awful large board, and it takes 15 for a quorum, and we always just barely have a quorum. So.
SEDP?
There's been members talked to about increasing their contributions. They sat me down and said, we don't expect you guys to have to, because we combine in our mind, the Perry Township contribution is the combination of both the township and the DDA.
Oh.
So they
Yeah,
said that was an
we
agreement
put
we
in
had.
quite a lot of money, so.
And they said that we're satisfied with what you guys do. I said, well, it wouldn't matter, because there wouldn't be anything we could do about it until next March to start with, and.
Are you going through your renewal, your 5-year renewal,
Yeah,
is that what you're
yeah,
doing?
yeah. But we're getting a lot of interest from people as new members. A lot of it has to do with the efforts that they put into last year with the phone calls
Oh,
and helping with you know, the.
Word of mouth.
Justin did a very nice job there.
Yep,
Yep,
he
and
does.
so that brought that to the forefront, and people understand it, so we're getting a lot of more activity with that. We're still working on the possibility of forming a 501c3, which, as it turns out, you don't eliminate the 501c6 that we have, which is a for-profit entity. You set up a separate 501c3. And the reason for that is that banks, people like Consumers Power, can put more money into the organization, but they can't do it under the structure we have. They need the tax-free basis to put the additional money in. So that's why we're looking at that. There is a program for redevelopment ready money that would maybe fit Morris. Don't know, but it's a possibility there could be some money that Morris could get their hands on for trying to bring some activity back downtown, since they seem to be losing it faster than they're gaining right now. They've gotten their study results back on the child care study, and there's been a lot of surprising results with that, and they're moving forward with that. They helped National Composites bring 30 employees from Puerto Rico. The advantage to Puerto Rican people as employees is they already have a United States passport.
Oh,
So they're not immigrants.
They're
And
US citizens.
they're US citizens, so they can come to work. They're starting out coming here, the person, and they're gonna have rooms for them in the old Pleasant View. And that's, you know, that's gonna be temporary, but there's other businesses interested in doing this. And so it's another area that they're working toward. Rugged Liner, here's an added person they're gonna be looking for more help, is they've moved their tonneau cover sewing line from China to the plant on Corona Avenue.
no good.
And so that's more employees. Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff going on right now across the county, so.
Okay. And then our Perry Township Planning Commission. You guys
Well-
met, right?
Yeah, we met, we did that bylaw change that we've got to talk about later, and that's why we have to talk about it in here, because we did it in there.
Right.
The rezoning of the property, Don Schultz came to the meeting and explained what he was doing. That's a really funny piece of property. It's about, he bought it just to screw with the state, basically.
Yeah,
And he admitted that, but you really can't do a whole lot with it. He has a use for it because it borders his other property, but for anybody else to go in there, there isn't a whole lot. But there was some concern about the proper zoning, because I think they were trying to do it as a B2.
we've got it on the agenda here.
Yeah, so that was that. We re-elected the same officers,
Okay.
and that was pretty much it.
Okay. And did you look at the bylaws?
Oh, yeah, we
Okay.
voted those in,
Okay,
the
okay.
changes.
All right. Good, okay.
They were all legal stuff, basically, I think.
That's your, okay. Everybody there, pretty much?
Yeah, everybody was there.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Troy, financial report and pay the bills.
Okay, you've got your bills list in front of you. I had a goof, I had forgotten in their May meeting to give the planning commission their $15 raise.
Oh, their money, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
we caught that up this month.
sure.
Other than that, I think it's just kind of our normal bills. There's a few in there you'll see twice just because of we had 5 weeks between meetings, so.
So we had a lot of postage.
Yeah, I have a couple, there's a couple consumer bills and all that.
Yeah.
Our
bills.
revenue sharing check came in, this would be the second one for the fiscal year, and it came in, at
56 or what?
53.
53,166, so, we're running where we need to be. I mean, that's 2 checks for the year, which puts us at 36% of budget, we should be at 33, so,
Perfect.
good.
All right.
If you need help toward the end of the year, count trailers if you want to do that, because they've been adding a lot of trailers into that trailer park.
Well, we need to do it for our, for the ambulance assessment.
Yeah,
Oh.
so if we need to
If you're volunteering to count trailers, by all means.
Or if you had a drone, you could just take it up
I'll be
there.
honest, the reason I haven't is because we haven't done it in a while, and at that time I was afraid for town it was gonna go down and bad. You know.
Probably, but they've
They're
been
coming.
really filling back in the hole.
Why don't, we'll get together, I'll show you the map, because what I did when I've done it before is I just printed off a map and I went around and highlighted, just drove through the park and highlighted where there's ones and counted, but I can show you what I've got, so that's.
Yeah, but I think we probably need to look at that.
But one of the things they were doing is they were taking like 2 lots and putting one on, well, that hurts us for the ambulance assessment.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Because it's all about numbers, not, it only counts when there's, it doesn't matter whether it's occupied or not, but there has to be a trailer on the lot, so.
Put 1 on 2 lots, sure.
Correct, 1 on 2 lots, that goes backwards on. Yeah, and I get a report every month of how many, but those are just occupied ones, not, which ones are there. So we can get together, Mark.
When Mark does that, I'll give him a hand, that way one can drive and one can do the paperwork.
If you guys, that's right, you guys want to come trailer, it's a good time.
No, boy, that's not it.
And the thing is laid out the most weird possible. If
Can
you
we
try
get a
to-
jug and put it in the seat between us?
Actually, you'll get a lot of people staring at you.
What are they doing for paper? All right, so let's see, we need to pay the bills.
Yep.
Pay 'em.
Move. Mark?
Damn.
Second. Butch, roll call vote, Kelly.
Mark Foltz?
Yes.
Mark Frazier?
Yes.
Francis Griffin?
Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, yes. Troy Furman?
Yes.
All right. I got 3 little correspondence. One, of course, our summer board reviews, Tuesday, July 20th at 10 o'clock here at the hall here. But before that, next week, on the Wednesday, the 14th, we've got a noon to 1, MTA's got a board review July session, and Jim will be here, I'll be here, Michaela and Dave Fletcher. I don't think Tim Place can come, he's got a Jersey thing going. But anyway, he did call me again. I need to call the lady and see if we can, if it's a way he can tap into it after it's done. But anyway, that's just a freebie to learn the do's and don'ts, what we're legal to do and can't do during that day. The second thing was the roads, just the fact that we pretty much caught up with what we wanted to do. They did do Lock Road N52 through the curve, that our estimated project cost. They did a lot of scratch coat and
They paved it,
1,400 tons of
they haven't seal coated it yet.
13A asphalt, and 145,000. It was a pretty good chunk of our budget. And then after the curve, they're going to do chip seal the whole area. It's about 2 miles. And so they'll finish that and then strike it, and that big job will be done. And then the Miller Road, the gravel's done, and so we didn't have a lot left after those jobs. And the third thing, Kelly sent Troy and I an interesting tidbit on solar moratoriums.
Did you put it in their boxes or not?
No, I think I just forwarded the email to you guys.
We'll have to print it off and put it in your guys' box.
So basically, Venice Township had a meeting last night at 7 with an attorney from Foster and Swift of Grand Rapids talking about the do's and don'ts, the ups and downs of solar and whether they need to look at a moratorium. I think they're going to look at a moratorium. And they're concerned about that fact that the Shiawassee County Board of Commissioners and Shiawassee County Planning Commission doesn't really take a listening ear to their comments, and sometimes, like they did us, they brush them off, and then they feel like they have been not heard. So, solar farms.
So, well, it's solar farms, but I mean, where this relates back to us is,
Yeah.
of course, starting last year, we weren't particularly happy, particularly the planning commission,
Right.
with the county, and whether we decided to do something different or not, if a bunch of the other townships do, that whole community development could come down like a house of cards if they don't have enough, So what I'm saying is, depending on what happens up there, we may end up doing our own zoning whether we wanted to or not. It's just something we gotta keep in mind there, because if a bunch of the other ones, I mean, if they start losing townships, it doesn't work, because they don't have enough revenue, so. And there's some really angry people up
Oh, they're
There's
betcha.
really angry people all over the county right now.
And it's not,
That reason?
well, it's,
Yeah.
but
That
they're,
reason?
Solar panel.
Okay.
they're upset about the solar farm, but they're upset about the same reason we were upset about Slocum, is they just, the township made a recommendation and they said, forget you, we're gonna do what we want.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's been 2 years now that Woodhull and Bennington have been talking about it.
It dries out.
sorry,
It dries out after a while,
There's,
it was a little,
yeah,
It
there's
was
definitely,
dramatic, that was the important thing.
yeah, you're right, Mark, I mean, it's just, and I don't know that they'll do anything different, to be honest.
We may need.
The county, I
don't.
don't know that I don't know if they don't get it, or they don't care, or they have other things on their mind, but,
well,
I just meant, well, we need to print that off and do it, because they have, they're more serious than just saying we're upset. I mean, what
wow,
they're looking at.
I don't think anybody really had a vision of how big that solar farm was gonna be
Yeah.
until they actually started putting stuff in the ground.
It's a little bit of an eyesore.
Well, I don't know if it is, but it has created some problems. One guy lost over $100,000 in the value of his house.
Well, that's not good.
No.
I know,
And there
the
are-
first time I saw a solar farm, Michigan State University, when they turned that parking lot into a solar field, remember that? And that was like 7, 8 years ago. and I go,
That's different,
wow.
that's,
I
I think, a little different
Yeah,
situation.
but still, it's just
you know.
it's a lot of,
I think, first of all, one of the concerns is that there's a lobbying, the big carrot on this is tax revenue, right?
Oh, sure.
But there's also some intense lobbying groups that are arguing that they shouldn't have to pay taxes on them, And I mean, if that happens, now all of the advantages are gone, on it.
governments.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, will it happen, will it won't happen? I don't know, we've had a lot of tax exemptions go through, in recent years, where they just pluck away little things
Yep,
here and there, and so,
yep.
this goes back to a national, I mean, you can say it's a local issue, but this started as a national and state issue where they started forcing, they basically said you can't burn coal anymore, and they backed the utilities into a corner here.
Yep.
And forced them to do something different, and
And this is the largest solar farm in the country, right?
Is that right?
Yeah.
so anyway.
Okay, unfinished, township website update, Kelly.
Yep, so all of you have had a chance to look at the new one that we've been developing since April.
Yep.
Any comments on?
It's nice. I think it's.
I think we should start all over.
No. It's taken a lot of time.
Well, this one is one that you could more easily change things and update things.
Actually, I think we will have the opportunity to add things, but the majority of the stuff will be added by them.
Oh,
So
okay.
that will alleviate boo-boos. We had some boo-boos on the
Okay.
last one, so, but I think there's more information out on this new one.
Yep.
I kind of looked at multiple websites around the state of Michigan and kind of pulled from each one of them to make sure that we had a lot of information out there for everybody, so.
It's nice, it's colorful, and it's informative, and it's clear, and
Well, it was time.
Yeah.
People now, if they're gonna do something, think about moving in the area or something, they're gonna look at
Yeah.
doing the research online.
So it'll probably be another month or so. We've got to get the email stuff, which is down on the list further, but we've got to get that, taken care of before we can go live with the regular website, so.
okay. Next is the new business. Kelly, you're back on, resolution for principles of
So we received
governance.
you got a copy of that.
One page.
From MTA, it's basically the principles of governance. It's what we attest to, what we stand for our community, so.
Oh, we've done these before.
Edward?
So it's just to say we're great people and we love it.
Yep, so let's just let's just do a resolution, you know, to accept the principles of governance, and,
Is there any questions about it? Butch?
That sounds like a motion to me.
I'll make that.
Kelly made a motion, anybody want to support that motion?
Second.
Second.
Butch, okay.
Okay.
Do we just need to sign one and give it
Yep.
to you?
I have the original here.
Oh, the original.
Yep,
It's
so
just a
everybody
copy.
will have to sign this, and
Oh, yeah.
I'll put it in a frame in my office.
We've got, okay, this is important, guys, all right? It's the 4th of July week, you know, and we gotta do this up right. This is Perry Township Principles of Governance, motion made by Kelly Schmidt, seconded by Butch Griffin. Roll call vote.
Sure. Let's see.
Jack Otter.
Troy Parmalee.
Yes.
Mark Foltz.
Yes.
Mark Frazier.
Yes.
Francis Griffin.
Yes.
Yes.
No going back now. Okay, approved.
Okay.
We'll sign it, you can do what you gotta do with it.
Yep.
All right. One down. Planning Commission bylaws update. Kelly,
Yep, so,
Planning Commission.
by doing the website, we are gonna put the bylaws of the planning commission on our website, and I took a look at them, and there were some things that they hadn't been updated in quite some time. So I got online and looked at MTA's recommendations and kind of changed a few things that brought us more in, more towards MTA's recommendations than what we had. And so we took it to the planning commission, and they approved it, so the board needs to approve it now.
Make a motion, we approve the bylaws changes to the planning commission.
Mark's made a motion.
Second.
Bush seconded the motion. All in favor?
That's a roll call.
Oh, that's another roll call vote. Okay, roll call vote. Kelly.
Mark Frazier.
Yes.
Francis Griffin.
Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, yes. Troy Parmalee.
Yes.
Mark Foltz.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Troy, rezoning recommendation for South M52, property 014092006.
So Mark already touched on it a little. So there was a question because in the chart in the zoning, he was rezoning at B2 because he wants to put a billboard up.
Okay.
In the chart in the zoning ordinance, it says it should be B3, M1, or M2. So I called Mike at the zoning office, and if you currently go further into the book, under specific use regulations, it lists B2 in addition to the other ones. And so their administrative conclusion is there's a typo in the table. So B2 is okay.
Oh,
Then I don't see a problem.
Right, and that's what we said, you know, our planning commission was fine with it, they just, you know, I explained the situation and he flipped through the pages and said, oh yeah, the table's wrong.
wow.
So,
So we need a roll call?
no, we just, so that's explained it.
Oh.
B2 is actually a little better, because there's a lot of things allowed in B3s.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and so,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and so,
Okay.
but the planning commission wanted to make sure that he was, you know, getting rezoned for what he wanted to do and wouldn't have to go through the process all over again. And, so yes,
So
there's just a
B2 is
typo.
okay. All
There's
right.
just
Now,
a typo in
there
there.
was a second thing in this though, and that's that we felt it was frankly BS that he was gonna have to pay a $500 fee for a permit to put that billboard up,
$500 fee to get it rezoned.
to get it rezoned, that's right. And we just felt that wasn't necessary.
That's their standard rezoning fee.
Yeah, well, we just thought we'd put that in there.
Oh, I thought, I had understood it that if he had to redo the application because it needed to be B3.
That's the way I read it.
That's, okay, that.
That you didn't, he shouldn't have
That's
to
how
pay
we
a second time.
Right, that's how we understood
You
it.
know.
Yeah, so we're okay. All right.
So anyway, I would make a motion that we concur with the planning commission and recommend to the county planning commission a rezoning to B2.
Okay, so we made a motion.
I'll second.
Mark, second. Roll call. Vote.
Francis Griffin.
Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, yes. Troy Parmalee.
Yes.
Mark Foltz.
Yes.
Mark Frazier.
Yes.
Okay. Kelly, Township email support.
Okay, so this is the other part of the website. We will be losing the support that we already have when this guy gives up our website, when he stops doing it. So we got a hold of Shoemaker, group. They're the ones that are designing the website, they're the ones that are gonna maintain it for us. They will also do the email support for us. There's 3 different prices depending on what we want. Troy just went through it with the mill, so what do you recommend?
Well, I think we'll probably do the Office 365, but we don't really make a motion, we're under $500 here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
But yes, basically it's to keep, we have to move the email, because that's on the same domain as that, so.
And it's done by the number of email addresses.
The number of email addresses. Now, one thing that just came to my mind is, didn't we talk about, Mark, at one time,
Yeah.
something for the planning commission, so that we had, that even if it just forwarded to an email of their choice, that there was a backup documents of it?
But I'm not sure it's worth spending the money on it.
Okay, all right.
You know, because Kelly and I talked about it for a minute before the meeting.
Okay,
And I'm just not sure that we have enough traffic in it.
okay.
Because it's something we can add at any time. right?
Absolutely, we can add it anytime, and if we did our own zoning, we'd probably have to.
Absolutely.
You know.
But at this point, going to Kelly and Kelly forwarding it to whoever doesn't
Yeah.
hurt anything.
Okay, all right.
So, but this middle one, the Office 360,
Mhm.
is that something we can access from home, from our home computers? Yeah, that's what we talked about.
So that'd be
That's-
nice, and there's a special app on your phone,
Yeah.
it'll make it,
So-
it'll bring it into modern times.
The only thing I have with the
Modern- I like
problem
modern
with
times,
365 is a number of things.
Sometimes I do.
They don't allow you to take to your documents folder you already have. They want you to go to OneNote. So you have to kind of watch what you're doing. I think there's workarounds for that, but,
Yeah, there are, and we can use our same client that we use on the computers now and stuff.
but 365 is nice
Yeah,
because it's got all the, Word.
well, it's
stuff.
run by Microsoft,
Microsoft.
you know,
Okay.
they're scanning and reading all of our emails anyway, so,
Right,
sending them reporting it back to the Chinese.
that's right.
Troy, now, the bill for SEDP yearly contribution, you see that? You-
Wait a minute. Oh, we
I
don't
kinda
have.
We don't need, it's under $500, we don't need it.
So we're okay on that, yeah. SEDP, that was what, 3,500?
Oh, yeah, it's $1 a parcel, or $1 a person, so it's $3,556 is our annual support.
Contribution, okay.
And it's, right, so.
And that's what we budget
We
for.
make a
That's what we
motion,
budgeted for.
we make a motion for that?
We do.
Let's make a motion for that.
I'll make the
Mark,
motion.
second, Butch, all in favor, roll call? Roll call. Another roll call, Kelly. Minutes are gonna be long.
Okay. Let's see, Kelly Schmidt, yes, Troy Parmalee.
Yes.
Mark Foltz.
Yes.
Mark Frazier.
Yes.
Francis Griffin.
Yes,
Okay, and then, Mark, based on your comments, Troy added a joint meeting with the planning commission.
Well, I assume they still want to do that, don't they?
Yeah, they still do, and there's some other things that,
Okay.
there's a grumbling going on
What's our suggestion?
about the members of the county planning commission or ZBA not being able to hold an officer's position in this planning commission. And so just be prepared for that.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your thoughts?
Well, if we wanted to do it,
Yeah, it was brought up last meeting, I said after planning.
right, so if we wanted to do it in the next month or so, what? I mean, what is?
July, doing the
Well,
July,
July or August,
July
it would be
28th.
my thought.
we're gonna meet July 28th.
Yeah. the last-
You wanna do our township board meeting and a joint meeting with the
I
planning
don't
commission the
think you
same?
do.
No, I don't
Oh,
think
you
we do.
want a
I don't think we
specialized
do.
time?
I think
Oh,
we'll special
okay.
meeting for it.
Do it in August then.
We could do it on the planning commission night.
When are you gone in August, Kelly?
The 9th through the 20th.
Okay. Nice.
I mean, as of this point, we don't have anything for the planning commission, right?
See, the planning commission's July meeting would already be next week.
Right, right.
And I don't,
Yeah, it's
because it's, right.
September, we're gone in
So
September.
their meeting in
too.
August is when? When
It's
is
the
their?
19th, but that's the week
August
Kelly's,
19th?
that's the
Oh,
week
you're
Kelly's
gone, you're
gone.
gone, okay.
And then I'm gone in September too.
Yeah, and I'm gone in September. Also.
Do we want
Unless the rent
to,
cars are $1,000, I was lucky to get the one
Do it
for
this-
400,
Can you do
Jeez.
it next Wednesday?
next Thursday, I have something next Thursday, I know I can't do it.
What about the following Thursday?
22nd?
Between, you mean like what would feel like more of a normal time? Not because the first was on a Thursday, that's why we're,
Right.
how does that look for you?
I'm
Okay.
good.
We want to have Sandy reach out to them then and
Oh,
see if
yeah.
that works.
When do we want
Yeah.
it?
July 22nd.
Let's tentatively look at July 22nd,
July 22nd. And what day is that?
Thursday.
Thursday,
Thursday. And what time? 6,
So,
7.
7? You like 7?
yeah.
I mean, I don't know that this needs to take forever, but we need to just kind of talk a little bit about,
Well, we gotta clear the air and some things.
yeah, I guess.
And we need to talk about the realities
So I need to bring some
of
kind of spray.
Well, we need to talk about the realities
Clear the air.
of possibly having to move to our own.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
one of the realities is we can't do it by ourselves.
Not economically, probably.
We need to,
I'll reach out to
we need
Vin
to
on
combine
this.
with other people, and maybe the city is part of that, I don't know.
Could be.
Well, sure, I mean, we can all have our own ordinances, but we share a person,
Right,
you know, and city, and it could possibly be the village too, as they've, you know, they hire somebody that administers that does an awful job. You know, and again, each municipality still has their own ordinance,
right.
you know, to do things as they wish, but you share a person.
I'll reach out to this Venice Township and see if there's some notes or something that
Sure,
I can get for that meeting, so we have something.
Maybe make a copy for those two.
I will. I'll do that.
So, Kelly, you wanna reach out to Sandy then? So she can reach out and see if that works for the planning commission?
Because like I say, at this point, we don't have anything for planning commission anyway, do we?
No.
Okay,
Yeah, so
so 7 o'clock, Thursday, July 26th.
Let's make sure it works for them. If there's a conflict, then
We can always change
we can change.
All right, all right, all right. And the last thing, or just a reminder, our next meeting will not be in August. Our next meeting will be in July
Right, we moved
28th
it a
at
week
7
up.
here. July 28th at 7. That works for everybody. Okay?
I haven't given Kathy that heads up, so.
He knows about it. He saw the minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked before the meeting. Okay?
Yep.
Going once? Anything else?
motion to adjourn.
Going twice? Butch? Thumbs up. Butch made a motion to adjourn. All second. All in favor?
Bye.
Aye.
7:46, 7:47. 7:47.
Don't you usually have a gavel?